What's going on, y'all? It's Childish Demon.
Frank Castle.
Daniel Domingos.
Spawn.
Yeah.
You not spawn today?
No, today he's Punisher today.
Cool. So, let's kick it off, shall we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Superior Spider-Man 25.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Goodness gracious. That was
we got him back.
issue.
Essentially, we got him back.
We
I
thought
guess
he
we
was
could just
gone.
go there.
Now, all right. So my question is, so the spirit.
Before we even do this, I'm gonna tell you right now, what I had a problem.
Okay,
with.
what did you have a problem?
All right.
Now
the whole issue in general.
let's go through the issues of
the whole
problem.
issue.
The issues of the issue.
No, I was like the whole comic was good in general, but like the way they brought him back, I did not really.
You think it was a little random?
I just thought it was just like.
Where the hell did he come from?
Like, was it like, fan service?
I don't think it's that, but like I just think it was just really uninspired. It was just like really.
Well, think about it like this.
I mean, I can see it happening, but like it was just.
You can hear from what he was saying. He was like, I couldn't let him fall deeper in this darkness that we were getting into.
But like initially they gave the fact that he was gone.
Well, hold on.
And then they
said that was my question. Now that was my question.
So I get that. I get that, and it makes sense, and I don't like the what's the way of putting it? You know, the kind of wedge in, like, oh, here he was all the time, but
secretly hidden.
But here's the thing, though. Remember how he got put away to begin with. You remember we talked about this during our first one. The reason he lost that fight to Octavius was because he decided that he failed. All right, so all this time it could have been that Peter Parker was just like, I'm gonna let him take the reins because I fucked up.
Well, I guess you can see it that way too, but I don't know.
But
it's like
but it doesn't. It doesn't really. That theory of mine doesn't really cover the fact that out of everything Octavius has done so far, like kill enemies and the whole surveillance, the entire city, I don't know why it's taken up to this point for Peter to finally be like, okay, I need to come back.
I guess it's
he was waiting on something. So who knows what he was waiting on?
Okay, well, essentially, like I said, I guess maybe it was a fact because the Venom symbiote was back, and the fact that he still wasn't under control of his whole body, the Venom symbiote would essentially destroy him.
True.
It would be. Right. It would finally get what it wanted because the Venom symbiote always wanted.
Always wanted. Yeah.
That was
always
it.
wanted him. Yeah.
And if it got what it wanted, along with Otto's mind still superior into that, and it would just.
He would have been a monster. He would have been a monster.
Exactly what he said. I can let him go further than this.
I get that, but I don't know. I just felt like it was a real. I just didn't like the way it came back. I mean, I'm glad he's back, obviously, but like I didn't like the way it came back. It was like it was lazy. I'll forgive him.
I do like. Well, okay. I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with you in the sense that it was just like, okay, we're about to get Spider-Man 2. Let's throw Peter Parker back out there.
That's what I'm saying.
I got that feeling. I got that feeling where you're just like, all right, guys, y'all just kind of throwing them out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because, honestly,
you talking about the movies, right?
Yeah, but see,
so
here's the thing.
You think they thought about that? Because
this is the thing. What I thought, because I initially thought if Peter was going to make any kind of appearance back, it was going to be in the big major arc coming up.
For sure.
I didn't think he was just going to be up
I didn't think 2 or 3 issues
before it even happened. I was like, and they threw it in, and it was like a big surprise. I was like,
It's like I kind of felt like they were gonna do it before the movie hit, because here's the thing about all the comic. Well, as far as DC and Marvel goes, whenever they have their gigantic properties coming out in the movies, they're gonna want people to be able to go to that movie, come back to the comic book store, and see what's happening with that character.
Yeah.
If that character is not around, and it's like Spider-Man, some other dude, and some other dude's head. So, that...
So let's talk about that.
I guess
when does this movie come out?
Oh, damn. When does the movie come out?
I think it's March.
It's going to be soon, yeah.
I think it might be March.
Let me check
I don't think it's February. I think it's about March.
It's going to be coming out. It's going to be coming soon.
Yeah, it was either March or June, sometime, maybe summer. But yeah.
Let's see, Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All right,
Those pies. All right.
it's not March.
It's not March.
No.
It's like summer, midsummer.
May.
Amazing.
May.
May. All
So
right.
May.
Yeah.
It comes out in May.
Uh-huh.
Y'all guess he
And,
might be back.
and this,
Yeah,
okay, by
That's what I'm
like,
thinking. He might be
amazing,
back around
yeah,
there.
Amazing
Because
Spider-Man
they do
is slanted because you still have to go through the Goblin
Yeah.
Saga.
Yeah, and it's not gonna last as long. I
It's-
know
I don't
because
think it's gonna last
the
that
Goblin Saga is gonna be 6 issues. I
Yeah.
didn't know this.
Oh, you already know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know
Okay.
this. It's gonna be 6 issues, and it's gonna be like running. If it's gonna be running the same way, it's still running like the regular series. It's gonna finish by March.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will essentially have Amazing back.
Exactly.
So, do you think it's gonna be right after?
It'll be before.
It'll
So he's
have
gonna
to
be
He'll
back
definitely-
before.
He'll definitely be
Yeah.
back before the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, not before the movie. I mean before the by the end of the Goblins.
Oh, by the
Oh.
end of the Goblin Saga, most likely.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
positive
that's what
it
I'm
will.
betting on.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
Because that
because
was my initial thought anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, he's gonna come back in the middle, maybe like the middle or towards like the end of that
Really?
arc.
I mean,
It may be the climax of the arc
Yeah.
itself.
on top of that, you're talking about Spider-Man facing off against his original arch enemy.
For sure.
All right.
Yeah.
You're talking about
He would
now
be
that
his original arch
what's her
His
name's
original
sister is now a goblin, right?
Yeah.
Carly.
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 We gonna talk about
she's
that.
not-
We gonna
Yes.
talk about that later.
Yeah, but now that she's in the gang, as it were,
Yeah.
right? So now Spider-Man has to go up against his original arch enemy. He's having to go up against his best friend, who's now is supposedly been turned over.
Wait, who?
And then, or that detective, didn't he date her?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was his ex.
His ex,
yeah,
right.
He goes,
And then on top of that, the Goblin continues to ask who Spider-Man is.
True.
yeah.
So to me that's just plot lines that are
The
leading
only
towards.
person I knew was
Thank you.
yeah.
Awesome worker of the force.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna crack
You ain't gonna say
people
excuse me.
Yeah.
up. Yeah, they ain't gonna say excuse me.
They ain't gonna say excuse me. So yeah, like I said, with it, I guess like the only person that really did know the whole real secret was Carly, and she's been turned, and she's
sure.
still keeping the information secret.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
So
She's
like,
not really telling
She
him
didn't
yet.
say anything.
Yeah.
She didn't even reveal her own self, even after Goblin Born.
Yeah.
And I'm still kind of upset about that because it was the only person
I'm kinda-
who wanted to,
Well,
maybe there's hope.
I'm
There
pretty
might be a
sure.
switchback.
Yeah, it's some type of
Obviously.
switchback has to happen.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But it's gonna be too late.
Yeah.
I don't think so. She's fairly early still. Everybody else
True.
might be too late.
Who?
True.
Well, the switchback got
The switchback
She
from-
might,
Oh,
she
yeah.
might be able to get, but everybody
Yeah.
else, I don't know
If
about
anyone's gonna be able to switch it back, it's gonna be Peter.
that. Yeah, okay.
That could be a good lead up too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess. But I don't know. But yeah, I'm kind of really excited for this. But bringing
It's
a lot
gonna
of stuff.
happen, man.
You know,
It's gonna happen.
The big old Goblin arc, Goblin
These
Nation,
tests too.
about to come in. Yeah,
These tests.
they're about to have all
These tests
these.
they've been having.
Yeah, it's more focus obviously going to be on Otto and how he's going to deal with this, since initially he has failed for the second time.
The second time.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
second time
Yeah.
he's failed.
Yeah. Well, see, here's my next question, right? So, what are they gonna do with Octavius if Spider-Man
I
comes
don't
back?
know.
Like,
knows?
because you can't get rid of Octavius. You just can't. You can't. It can't happen, man. He's one of the originals.
He was.
They
supposed to
will
be
find
the
a way.
Number one nemesis.
Yeah.
Essentially, he was until after
Yeah.
issue one. What was it? 126, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine.
Well, I mean, I think
700 issues.
I think the
Yeah.
Hobgoblin
Death of
was
Gwen.
one of the ones where it hit more at home for Peter, which is
The
why.
only reason, well,
or the
okay,
Green Goblin.
I give you that. Like the only reason the Green Goblin got the way, and we all know,
Mhm.
is because he killed someone
Yes.
that was close to him.
Stacy.
So because of that
Uh-huh.
alone, it moved him past.
Yeah,
Octavius,
it did. It
who was
really did.
initially the first,
That
and like
made
his
him the
real
most
arch enemies.
ruthless son of
Yeah.
a bitch.
Because he was like the original arch enemies,
Uh-huh.
like, and then that
And then
Gwen
that
Stacy,
happened.
bow,
Yeah.
Green Goblin, Norman
Yeah.
just took over. I was like,
Yeah.
oh wow.
yeah, really.
I mean, so I don't know. I guess like since he's like number 2 still,
I don't think they're gonna kill him off.
I don't know.
I think what'll eventually end up happening, and this is just a theory, all right. But I'm thinking they're gonna have either that or they're gonna have a side by side, have a Superior Spider-Man and have the original Spider-Man.
Half and half. Left
well,
and right.
No. Just like having somehow they're gonna be able to transplant Octavius' mind to somebody else,
to a different body.
Yeah, because if he can do it once, I think he can do it again.
Well, I guess. I mean,
if
like I said it because like
if I was Amazing Spider-Man, I wouldn't let that shit fly. Be
like,
but
here's the difference.
This is Peter we're talking about, though, man. Peter doesn't ever kill any of his villains.
I didn't say kill.
He in prison you.
Well,
but
might
we already know.
Yeah, sure.
But here's the thing about imprisonment. He's already gotten around it.
Yeah. But not only that, Peter has now seen the change in Otto Octavius. Okay, granted Octavius he's still a little bit of an asshole. Yeah. He is. He's actively changed himself.
Yeah,
for this role. So Peter's he has to notice that. And the way Peter is, there's no way he's gonna try to get rid of Otto. There's no way.
I don't think he's gonna let him run around as being Superior Spider-Man.
I
don't see that happening.
He lets the Scarlet Spider run
It's
around.
happened before, because he had Scarlet, and there was Ben, and then there was the other clone.
Yeah, and these other characters have done some pretty horrendous shit sometimes.
True.
So, and
he's Scarlet.
Kane.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly. So
maybe
it's not. It's for me. It's not that far fetched to see.
True.
I don't see him still being like
not in New York. I don't think. He might be something different.
I don't see. Because honestly, if he does come back, I do feel like the arms are coming back with him.
Well, the arms are still there. Technically, he still has those spider arms going.
But no, I mean, like, the original.
Oh, the original attendant. Yeah. I mean, they'd have to.
For good now. Yeah.
But the thing is, like, my question is whether or not they're gonna make Otto a villain again or not.
Who knows?
See, he might follow that role of anti-hero.
He might, because here's the thing. Now that we know Otto's story through Superior Spider-Man, I mean, because we know everything that's gone on with him now.
Yeah.
And now that we understand, as readers, we understand where Otto Octavius is coming from. For too long here. Oh, come on, you barely came into this story.
I don't have to wait.
Okay, we've been here from the beginning, alright? We've been following this.
I was catching up on the history, alright? Then I caught up to the present, which I didn't want to be a part of. Okay.
But we've been in this since the get-go. But what I'm saying is that now that Octavius has become this, he's essentially become a good guy in our eyes. To a degree. A little bit. Granted, he's like a Wolverine, Punisher-ish kind of good guy, but he's still a good guy, right? Because we know where he comes from now. So I don't think they can easily turn him back into a villain again. Not easily. Like he would have to do something horrendous to become a villain again. Because we can't now that we know he was beat as a child, now that we know all this other crap about him, and that now that he's actively tried to change himself, they're gonna have to do something with him other than a tiny bit. He's still an arrogant asshole.
Yeah, he's trying to kill people too.
He's still trying to kill people.
Like, I gotta be head of everything. I'm smarter than everybody.
I mean, he's still
his
a little bit
solution to problems is to kill. When your solution is to erase the problem, I don't think you got the material yet.
And that's the thing. That was the same thing with Venom, right?
Yeah.
So essentially, the Venom symbiote.
Like, he might just be essentially like another version of. Yeah, he might be another version of like Venom.
Yeah, he's another Punisher. He's gonna become another Punisher because that's what the Punisher does, right?
Yeah, true.
No one can really say whether or not the Punisher is a good guy or bad guy.
Right.
We just know that he's got a final solution for everything.
He just loves killing them.
Yeah, he's like
the mob is his general enemy for life.
Exactly.
Nobody else.
If he could fix a tire with a gun, he'd do it. That's what he would do.
Yes.
So that's the way I see it. So I think they're gonna have to find a way to, essentially turn him into some sort of anti-hero.
I don't think they're gonna have to turn. I mean, he's already kind of there.
True.
I mean, he'll just make a reappearance as somebody different.
Yeah.
If anything.
Because Spider-Man's been known to let
maybe
people live.
Maybe he'll try to pull over the wool and try to move in another resident. We'll probably have another resident in New York.
Mm.
So I might try to.
I don't know. If
there might be some beef
York,
between
though.
that. I don't know if he'll
we
let
might
him leave,
get like
but
a Philadelphia
that don't mean he'll
Spider-Man.
that doesn't mean he's gonna leave. Essentially,
Yeah.
So I mean, he could still be there, but
Who knows? But good issue, nonetheless.
It was still goodish. It means you
go
think.
read that.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man 25.
Yeah,
that was very good.
Superior ain't gonna be there too long.
Going back to that amazing.
Going back to Amazing Spider-Man.
What's next?
Well,
you read
All New X-Men.
All New X-Men. Yes. What
that's your
issue
fault.
number is that? That's issue number what?
I think we're at 20, or is it 21?
It might be 21. You're probably right. Probably 21.
Yeah.
All new.
Because I think this is the finish. Yeah, because this is finishing
It's not
the religious little thing they got going. No, it's not.
Man, I'm gonna have to look.
Because like,
I'm gonna have to look.
Because
I would look, but we use that advice.
Let's see.
But it's all on there. All the comics are on there.
Okay, well, yeah, like I said, because they just finished the thing with the anti-mutant religious group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just got through finishing that arc.
Yes.
With what's his name?
Laura's now on the team.
Yeah, she's on the team.
Yep.
Yeah.
After events of ABX.
You mean Avengers Arena.
Yeah.
Good. Go read that too.
They pulled up essentially the last issue they had left off at. They were all captured. They got captured essentially because the leader of the anti-mutant religious group or whatnot was a mutant himself. And
21. Issue 21.
Issue 21.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sorry, read the last
so he's he's a mutant himself essentially.
Okay.
And it goes back at the beginning of the next issue.
He's not really a mutant.
Well,
he was implanted with technology to fight.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like his father gave his father before him gave him the permission to do that.
So somewhat of a sentinel.
Sorta,
yeah.
Kinda. He has like this technology and and I think
they work with they were working with
the one that put him put the technology.
So they bring him in, and he initially called up AIM after they got him because they captured him in the last issue. It was like, see what you can do with him or whatnot. If
and
you
apparently
need him alive,
he was having
trying to kill him. And maybe,
he was having like insomnia or some shit because of the technology, something like that.
Yeah, and
headaches.
Jean Grey kind of saved the day.
Mm-hmm.
Because
obviously
Jean Grey.
Because she's Jean Grey.
Yeah,
and then, see, now here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about these last two issues. They have really made me want to read Avengers Arena to figure out what's
happened with X-Men.
Yeah,
well, because so here's the thing, like,
because I don't know what happened, and
they showed some clips of what happened in Avengers Arena.
Oh, that was you.
When,
I thought it was coming from here. What are you doing?
They showed some.
I kind of want to look it up
because they showed some images of Avengers Arena. What happened to X-23?
Oh, cool.
And they showed it because it was like, this was showed over the whole world. You're like, where did you get these images?
We know what you're capable of.
Everybody knows when you did. And she essentially broke down.
Yeah, she lost it.
Yeah, she essentially broke down. She stopped fighting. She just kind of she was just
really
she was just done.
Something
then my boy Cyclops came in. He was like, "Yo, what's wrong?"
And see, and that's why I want to look it up because I really, me, I like X23.
Yeah,
I do too.
So the thing is, exactly,
X23
for life,
all day, nobody else.
So the thing is, now I kind of want to see what got her in this very vulnerable.
Yeah, man.
I mean, because she was, she
got
effed up.
She got effed up. I guess Avengers Arena, it really messed with her a lot because they kept having the trigger set. Essentially set her off a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And she was nearly on it the whole time.
Basically, man.
Really?
They had it out, and she was just primed.
Like once
the
first issue came, the first issue, blah.
See, now
from
I'm really
from the second issue on in, man, it was intense, man.
Yeah.
See now, who set up that? I'll read it.
Yeah,
no way. Yeah.
Just don't worry.
I'll read it.
So essentially they did that. All the X-Men, they got out of there after the Jean Grey essentially got everybody off the hook. She was doing a thing. She got what was it? She was telling everybody mentally what to do. You know,
What to do,
Shadow Cat was the first one. She's like, "Pow! You thought you had me." Slipped through those chains with the ground.
Now remember, AIM was talking about that they needed some blood samples.
Yeah, because they were trying to.
working on something.
Yeah, they were going to do the thing with they said with the Inhumans popping up.
Yeah,
all over the world,
with the Inhumans,
and they were going to try to get some samples. And
they were going together for real.
They were going to go ahead and try to get like a fuse of the Inhumans and the mutants and
fuse them
together
and make like
what if Inhuman
species.
mutant?
Yeah, like So I think that would be good to keep in mind because they're going to branch that off.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know. Oh, well, actually, because that's what I'm looking forward to right now is Inhumans. The first issue is coming up, I think, in February 5th. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's coming out somewhere around there.
It's coming out, right? Yeah, so I'm waiting for that because I want to know what's really going on with the
Are you reading
They haven't like touched them. Yeah, I'm still reading Humanity. It's still going. I mean, there's not too much really. Well? I mean, it's kind of like it's a little bit everywhere. It's not like a set story. It's still just stuff.
It's just stuff happening.
Yeah.
See, so they set up for that. Whatever AIM's doing on that, and then X-23 and Cyclops.
Yeah,
at the end
kind of had a moment.
Yeah, they had a moment.
Because he was there.
I was flipping through the pages. I saw
no, not that.
I did what?
No,
you didn't get to this one because it was essentially the same time. She had the breakdown.
Yeah, I flipped through the shit.
Oh, really?
I went to read it. I was just looking at pictures. I didn't read the words.
Ooh, pretty.
See, I can't do that because then for me that gives away the story.
I was trying to read it.
Yeah. But essentially, it was like after the breakdown, she had.
But so
after the breakdown, he came in. He was like, "Yo, you all right?" Okay? Just straight up hugged him. She just gave him that super bear hug. I was like,
gave him, like titties on chest. No.
But Jean Grey kind of peeked her head around and saw it.
Yeah, Jean didn't look so happy about that.
But then they were still rolling out of there. So because we're trying to escape these people. I don't give a fuck about y'all.
Did they leave him alive? They kept him alive, didn't they? He's just kind of pinned underneath rubble right now. The Striker's boy.
Yeah.
So that's how.
So is he Striker's?
His son.
Okay.
Son. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's how that's gone. Then they're about to lead up into the trilogy.
The trilogy. That's gonna be good.
Actually, I should also bring that up also because of Uncanny X-Men. Yeah, that was another one that came out.
Today.
This one,
it
was
week.
last. Yeah, it was focused basically on Magneto, and I can't really tell you the whole thing of it because it was just kind of like a soul searching thing for Magneto.
Okay,
because he's a relic in a sense, and he's like,
for sure.
he was he had a thing going at one point. After Charles died, it affected him too, which was something they brought up in there. It was a character because
he was essentially going to turn because I read like the first 2 issues of Uncanny, and originally he was going to be turning in Cyclops.
I remember.
I never understood. Like, I didn't know if he was actually serious about it or he was like playing his own game.
I don't know.
But blah, blah, blah.
Essentially, what happens is he does some work or whatnot. He's going around, finds these people that are. He's talking to Dazzler, I think, or whatnot. And she was like, "Yeah, there's this place in Madripoor or whatnot where these mutants are coming with this like a mutant growth serum or whatnot that people are getting and whatnot. This place is like a place for mutants." He goes there, kind of horrified about some of the stuff he sees because he's on the street level first and he's seeing people like got the stuff and then there's people being like attacked or whatnot for these certain things or whatnot, and he goes through and he's like. Try to see who's in charge of like this place or whatnot because he goes up to the higher levels and he's like, oh, it's like the Blob. He sees the Blob first. And he's like, oh, what's going on here? You're in charge of it. He's like, no, it's a little mutant haven for other mutants, spring up randomly or whatnot and all that. And he goes through again and he sees Sabretooth. He's also there, just kind of awful, just being Sabretooth.
Doing what Sabretooth does. Trying to find
Sabretooth.
You're always trying to fight the guy.
He was just chilling there.
I just saw him.
And then he runs into Dazzler again. He's like, yo, Dazzler, what's going on here? Are you running this? And he's like, Dazzler turned out to be Mystique. So yeah,
course.
she was
Oh, because they were gonna do that. Because I completely forgot about that. Where
she
it
bought the
happened
island.
in the beginning. In the beginning of the
all the X-Men. She got the money. Where they took all the money.
Yeah, took all the money and for sure.
I remember that. Yeah. And she did that, and he was like, "Yo, what's going on?" And he was like, "Yo, this is the place for mutants and whatnot." Since like the initial plan, since Charles is gone, like everybody's kind of gone off, does different things. Scott doesn't really know what he's doing. Wolverine came docile.
Yeah,
he's not really,
he doesn't know what
and then there's
and
he's just like, there's you. Nobody really thought about what happened to you after Charles, essentially died, because you've been in a lost spot. You're like following Scott, who doesn't essentially know exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah,
and since you're lost also, we're trying to offer you a place here. You can kind of lead the place over here, whatnot. Essentially, it's different. She said it was like a different kind of like not Genosha or whatever where they had, but like a better island.
So was he talking to Dazzler earlier that day, or was that Mystique?
That was Mystique.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously,
well, she got that. But that's the thing, man. It's like it's starting to leave me, because eventually Magneto's gonna reclaim his place. As a villain. Eventually,
here's the thing.
It has to happen.
Here's the thing. He rejects the offer.
Okay.
To stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Do the thing with the blob. He does it. He was like, you guys are crazy. Whatever. I'm not down with this. This growth here on thing. It's not cool at all. Yeah. Essentially. And so he just kind of like does a little damage. Gets the fuck out of there. And then they go back to like where Uncanny X-Men were hanging out, and it was like, where's Magneto? It was like, oh, who knows, but he'll come back. And he doesn't really have any real place to go, and they just kind of show one more shot of like, I guess, a streak that's Magneto, and he's like just leaving like from Madripoor or whatnot, and then in the corner at the bottom it says continue next in Magneto issue 1.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so he's about to get his own little series.
And here's something I kind of noticed. Has anyone else noticed that Uncanny X-Men has been filled with kind of like no names for the most part? Other than the main ones.
The new characters
the new
coming
characters
out.
are kind of no names for the most part, right? Yeah. So I kept thinking in my head, right? Because first of all, in the team you got Cyclops, Magic, Magneto, Emma Frost, and those were the original 4 that started the Uncanny, right? There was no one else but those 4. And then, of course, the all-new X-Men came in, and as well as Kitty Pryde. Yeah. But they're kind of the unknown variables at the moment,
they're
right?
Essentially, they're still their own team.
Yeah,
exactly. They're their own team still. So I always thought what was going to end up happening was that eventually Cyclops was going to have to, get the kick in the ass that he needs, that he was going to come back to the X-Men, and that was going to become the new Brotherhood. Because, again, you got Magic. Yeah. She's unstable beyond all hell. No. You got Emma Frost.
It seems like Magic's been kind of slowing down recently.
She's been slowing down.
Because after Battle of the Atom, she's been down a slow.
I feel like
she's becoming a little bit more sane.
Yeah.
I should say. She ain't all cuckoo crazy as like last time. But
Emma still seems kind of...
Emma's still kind of spiteful.
Yeah. So you think the all new X-Men was gonna stay?
I thought like eventually the all new X-Men were gonna there was gonna be a conflict with them. No. Like there was gonna be a conflict between the all new X-Men and the Uncanny, and that the Uncanny were eventually gonna branch off and become the new Brotherhood. Or at least that's what I thought, because I always thought that eventually Magneto would
try to take his place. Take back his throne.
I mean, because he has to see that Cyclops has become a mini Magneto at this point.
Yeah,
he's even said it at one point, like, yo, you doing some of the stuff I used to do. You need to chill the hell out.
But eventually, I think, because since Magneto's that type of, since Cyclops is that type of leader where he's good with words, that eventually he would get Magneto on the same path that he used to be on.
Okay.
And that eventually Magneto would start taking the helm, which would throw Cyclops kind of out of the picture, and Cyclops would go back to or at least that's where I thought it was gonna go.
They were gonna forgive him.
Yeah, they're not forgiving that nigga. Wolverine not forgiving nobody.
Wolverine.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Have y'all seen the new previews to Wolverine and the X-Men though?
Well, okay, here's all I know about
right.
Wolverine and the X-Men. It's supposedly going to its end game.
Yeah, I heard that. I have heard of that as well. But here's the thing. So I saw the previews for the new issue, and in the new issue, you know how Wolverine's going after those Sentinels right now.
Yeah.
And Cyclops is going after those Sentinels as well, because the Hellfire kids set that up to be that way. Well, eventually, Wolverine and Cyclops team up to go up against the Sentinels, and they actually become a little buddy throughout the thing. And they're still pissed at each other, but
Not
they were
reluctant team up. I got you.
Exactly.
That's Spidey Venom.
Exactly.
That's Spidey Venom thing.
And not only that, since Wolverine hasn't gotten his healing powers completely back yet, so
who knows when that's coming back?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't even been reading fucking...
I know.
It's literally been hurting me not to read Wolverine, but I just can't make myself do it. Yeah, I can't do it. But the thing is that so since Wolverine is still vulnerable in that sense, from what I looked at the preview that they were showing, Cyclops has to kind of protect them, and they're kind of watching each other's backs. Cool. So it's become sort of like this little team up thing that they have going on. So I thought, well, then eventually they're gonna have to bury the hatchet.
Right.
Eventually,
it may happen, but I don't know. I'm still giving okay. Here's the thing about Wolverine. Since he is essentially turning over to some kind of new leaf here.
True.
Yeah.
He may be able to do the forgive and forget thing.
Yeah. I mean, come on. He's got. He's kind of grown from what he used to be.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
The Savage Wolverine is a bit fucking badass.
I haven't read that.
You need to read that too,
although I gotta tell you,
good,
the last little story arc that they had for around 2 or 3 issues was kind of slow. It wasn't bad. It was like an environmental piece. I guess you can call it. They're talking about poaching in Africa, about with the animals and shit, and how Wolverine gets he goes after people that are poaching. So it's kind of it was sort of like a buffer, kind of a slow issue. It was still pretty good for the most part.
Alright, no problem.
But now they got this other arc.
That first arc though.
That first arc.
You be like, yep, set for life.
I was like,
and then the second arc is whenever the second arc is whenever he goes after Kingpin and all them damn ninjas.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you
I started reading
that one.
Is that after Superior kicked him out, or
this happened before Superior kicked him out because his whole little fort was still in the middle of New York.
Shadow Island. Because I'm about to say Spidey.
He demolished that.
He's like, yo, army, get him out. Bye.
Yeah. No, the thing about Savage Wolverine is that these issues or these arcs are happening in between events. So they'll tell you that this happened before this issue. So if you notice any inconsistencies, that's why.
Okay, because I figure that's what most comics do anyway.
I mean, the first issue was drawn by Frank Cho. The second issue drawn by Joe Madureira. I haven't seen Joe Madureira draw a comic since fucking forever. So it was great seeing that.
All right.
And then drawing Wolverine of all things.
My boy Wolverine.
That first arc was good.
Logan.
The first arc was
James. Whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, the third arc was... That was the environmental thing. And then this next...
about to get the next arc.
Yeah, this next arc now goes back to his early years. I think this takes place in 1903 or some shit like that.
Okay.
So, it's interesting.
The origin, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Origin. Now let's talk about origin.
All right.
Origin was so good.
Oh man, I read that one. First of all, let's talk about that cover.
That cover.
I fucking love that cover. That cover is
pull it
awesome.
out? We got actual comics now.
We got actual comics.
We always had actual comics.
We just
never bought them
really,
for you.
We never really showed them.
Oh,
you finally read Sandman too. There you go.
Now here's another thing about Sandman. I don't know what's the
that cover.
Oh, it's upside down.
Okay.
Huh?
No, what happened?
There you go.
All over
What'd you do?
Okay.
There we go.
Now here's a question. Dead Boys. Who are they?
Who?
The Dead Boys in Sandman.
Okay, so The Dead Boys
we
was
just not even gonna talk about
Well,
origin.
I mean, Sam
Oh,
talked up.
okay.
So
He just wants to know. All right, slight detour.
Yeah.
So Dead Boys was originally in a story arc within the Sandman series. There were 2 dead ghosts who solved a mystery in the house that was happening.
Okay.
So now they have their own series.
Yeah, because that's why I mentioned it. Because I
Yeah.
was curious about reading Dead Boy Detective.
Mhm.
That's happening.
Yeah,
in
it's
Vertigo. I was like,
I mean, I don't know how it's gonna be. It's not written by Neil Gaiman, but I'd give it a try
Yeah.
to see how it ends up. I mean, the original story, the story was pretty fucked. But again, it's Neil Gaiman, so you kind of expect that. But it was interesting. It's an interesting little concept what they originally had, and I think it originally starts off right after that story arc. So, I mean, it would be good, like if you can try to. Do you have any of the Sandman?
no. I know enough about it. Though. Like this,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, just read up on that, and it should be a pretty simple, easy read.
I'm pretty
from
sure
there.
you can find it.
But I'm just gonna like go straight for like Dead Boy Detectives because it seemed like something I'll probably just go ahead and do. Since like I do like mysteries. So yeah, it seems like it's a mystery thing. I'm gonna go for it. I also said like I might try Ghosted.
Okay, yeah, you told me
I did say that.
But
We're
Yeah.
gonna go to
Okay,
Wolverine.
Wolverine Origins. All right, back to Origins. All right, so.
It was so good.
So good.
Do you know anything about?
I don't even know.
anything about Origins.
You didn't read Origins?
You didn't read
I read the
Origins?
graphic novel.
Why didn't you?
Yeah.
I didn't get
The first Origin.
No, I didn't read.
You didn't read the first Origin?
Do you want to read this
You
one we're
didn't-
talking?
I mean, whatever, dog. I know, no,
I
didn't
would have
read
gave
that.
it to
Hey, I'm a
you.
girl and you shouldn't be.
Oh my gosh, look at that. That hurt my soul.
Finally got that
so
girl voice.
right in the
Yeah.
No.
No,
It's
but
too soft to hear.
Did
I
you?
would have gave you it the day I bought it. I
I
read
already
it.
did.
I just
Okay.
wanted to
Okay,
Yeah.
wait.
Well, I mean, you can go with
Did
it. I
you
don't
read
care.
the original Origins though?
The first one?
The first one.
I skimmed through it. I didn't really get like
The first Origin was so good too.
Oh,
because
really
like
good,
the
man.
thing is with me and Wolverine, I like them like that, but I don't like them like that.
Nah, I was,
That's the thing. I mean,
Alright.
Wolverine's
That was my
cool,
boy.
but like
Here's
That's my boy.
I'd
that's
rather
my
probably
boy right there.
I'd
Like, I
rather
went to
probably
Wolverine
go
when I was
ahead and read.
Exactly. Well,
Like the
he
thing
got-
is, I'd
he
rather
got the
read
mustache
Cable
hair,
more than
I grew
would.
out the facial
Cable's
hair,
my boy
man.
too, man.
Because
Just
I like
for it.
Cable a little bit more than I like Wolverine. So
Okay,
I
them
follow
my three
Cable
boys
and
right
X-Force.
there. You just said two of the three.
Like
And you know
Wolverine.
my number one.
Wolverine was my number one.
I mean, Wolverine
from the
was cool,
get-go.
but like for the longest, Wolverine was just like angry midget.
But
I'm
that's the thing though. That's the thing. Whenever
he had no
Origins,
substance.
whenever
That's really
Origins came out, that
That's
I mean,
what I'm saying.
great.
Like, yeah,
I mean
get
that just like really.
Yeah, it hits
You
you.
gotta read it, man.
I know I could probably read it
It's
now.
good.
Like it's probably got
It's
more to
good,
it now.
man.
But like, as for the
Good,
longest, Wolverine
Yeah.
was just angry midget.
Good.
I was just like, yeah.
All right, so essentially,
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Origins 2 takes place right after
Yeah.
Origins 1, right?
Right, yeah.
All right, so what you end up learning about Origins 1, there's no spoiler alert here,
No.
right? Everyone should
Yeah.
know by now. All right, so
You
Wolverine,
should know.
yeah, you should know.
Actually,
if you
quick
don't
question.
know by now.
Now, what is Wolverine like Japan's most wanted? Does this have anything to do with Origins, or is that like a standalone thing?
No, I
What
think
was
that's a
that?
standalone.
Okay, because
Yeah.
that kept
Yeah.
popping up for a while, like Wolverine Japan's most wanted. or
Yeah, I
something.
think that's
I
a
was like,
standalone
what
as
is
far as I
this?
know. Because Mandrapore is near Japan, isn't it?
Yes.
In the comics?
It should be.
I don't know.
I think it was.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I think
where
it's-
Madripoor
It's
is.
somewhere near
All I know is
those
Madripoor
islands.
was like the place for like either Hydra or AIM for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so as everybody knows, in Origins, you find out that Wolverine's real name is James
Yeah.
Halbert.
Yep.
You find out that he's just a sickly little kid whose father owned an estate. You find out that his mother was having an affair with the groundskeeper, whose name is Logan,
Yeah.
and that James is Logan's kid, essentially. You find out about Logan's son that he actually had named Dog, right?
Yeah.
You end up finding out that eventually
much.
going towards the end, Logan wants the mother back, but starts a fight with the father. Logan kills the father.
Yep.
James kills Logan
Yep.
with his newfound claws, right?
Yeah.
And that's where the shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
That's where the living home little nanny Rose with the
Yeah.
red hair. That's where his
Yeah.
obsession with red hair started. She
Yep.
took him away. He go there in Canada. he's working in mines and shit, and
Yeah.
and eventually Rose falls in love with the main land keeper of the mines. All right, so then you end up having that because Rose leaves James. Well, he renames himself Logan because he doesn't want to be known as James anymore. So the moment Rose leaves James in order to go and live and marry this other guy, Logan runs off into the wilderness. That's where Origins 2 picks up. All right, so
I'm essentially this has to do with. I guess I don't know.
Well,
because it seems like Origin 1's already he went through the Weapon X thing, right?
No.
Okay, so this is essentially pick up where Weapon X.
No, Weapon X is nowhere near.
Oh, it's
nowhere
not?
near. This is way before Weapon X.
So these Bone
Claws.
Bone Claws still. Yeah.
All original.
All right.
Yeah, all original.
All right, that's what I was trying to figure out.
Now here's something I want to ask you since you already read it. So, what did you think about those tribal markings that he had in red? Because so in the story, you find out that
you talking about towards the end, right?
No, he had it in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
All right. So,
no, I remember.
So what you end up finding out is that he's been in the wilderness all this time. All right. Living with a pack of wolves. Pack of wolves, and they've accepted him. You know, he's been hunting with them, eating with them, all that jazz. And whenever you see him, all he's got is like a fur loincloth.
Yeah.
And he's got like these red markings that look like his Wolverine costume. You know the Wolverine costume that has the markings here, and he's got the things here like the original Wolverine costume. Yeah. And I saw that and I was like, that's interesting. All right, you going a little nugget in there for the fans. Yeah, why not?
It's been there the whole time.
Yeah. Whatever.
Never love, yeah.
Right, and then he goes through some shit with his little wolf family. Some really I think and that's the thing that they've always tried to establish with Wolverine is that he's constantly going through these tragedies.
Yeah, just horrible things.
Yes. Horrible tragedies, man. I mean, come on. All right, so. Do we want to get into actually what happens in the issue? All right, so he's got his wolf family. They've been hunting together. And for some reason, he finds a freaking polar bear in the middle of Canada.
Crazy shit, man. It makes no sense.
It makes he's never seen a bear like this. He's used to black bears. He's used to grizzlies. You've never seen a polar bear. Big ass white polar bear.
Makes no sense.
All right, makes no. I mean, there's no way a polar bear would travel that far south.
Polar bear.
That ain't no polar bear. Well, all right. So Wolverine don't know. He doesn't know where it came from.
Yeah.
He starts observing it, right?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't know how to hunt.
Yeah.
It doesn't know how to forage. So he doesn't understand what it's doing in that environment.
Right.
I think they were talking about how like the polar bear would hide his black nose so that way he can blend into the snow, but the deer, they can smell him.
Yeah.
So. So he couldn't hunt. Wolverine would actually try to or Logan would try to give the bear some fruit, because that's what bears would eat. But the thing is, polar bears are purely carnivores. They don't eat any fruit at all.
It's like fruit.
Yeah, like what the hell is this shit? Yeah. So eventually, Logan's like, there's nothing I can do for him. I can only do this much. I'm gonna go away. So, what he didn't realize is that polar bears' keen sense of smell was extremely, extremely good. And what the polar bear ended up doing was following Wolverine back to his den. Polar bear killed off his entire wolf family. The whole damn pack.
Just bloody mess.
And it was so bloody.
So bloody, dude.
I mean, it was just like pools
I cried a little.
of blood.
I felt what Wolverine felt.
Like there was literally, they
showed
showed the cave and there was literally like a pool of blood outside of it. And so Wolverine comes back, sees his entire wolf family slaughtered, right? Loses his shit, dude. Yeah. Now, mind you, he technically didn't win that fight against the polar bear.
No.
That polar bear fucked him pretty hard. He really did. I mean, that polar bear pinned him down and literally ripped his throat out.
Yeah. Serious.
And Oh, and that other setup about the lone wolf being around.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Okay, so within the story, they throw in this lone wolf that's not a part of the pack, but he's constantly watching the pack, and Wolverine thinks it's because he wants to eat the puppies and take over the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they just kind of leave the lone wolf as a character that's just kind of sitting out there.
He's just out there.
Yeah, he's just out there.
Doing his thing.
And the thing is, whenever Wolverine goes up against the polar bear, which Wolverine they kind of kill each other, essentially. The lone wolf eats the piece of meat that was ripped off of Wolverine.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
That